failed verification. Stavi's World and Cumtown. The publication is The Baffler and Current Affairs at internet streamers Hasan, Piker, and Vosh. Oh, no! Oh, my God! No! No! Up until this moment, I'm like, oh, these are all my friends, except for Red Scare. I don't know how they get there. Oh! We're moving on from Brandonian nonsense. We're moving on from Brandonian nonsense to nonsense that pertains to dark woke going to war with the soy right. Now, a lot of you know I've been talking quite a bit about the soy right, which is what we're calling the right wing now, because now that they're in positions of power, their endless cries have yet to cease. They still act like they have nothing because, I don't know, I guess they're not getting all of their wishes or something. But also, you have this new emerging movement called dark woke, where some liberals have decided to basically behave like Republicans normally do. For example, what do? They every now and then they'll believe in like their own version of QAnon theories. Like there was that one guy that claimed that J.D. Vance was like a serial rapist of children, like a known rapist of children in the state of Ohio. And he was like, I'm coming out with all this information, like just you wait. You know, that kind of thing. It's different than like the dirtbag left. Dark woke is very different than the dirtbag left, because the dirtbag left is usually a group of people that just don't really with identity politics too much, right? Or have like a class first politics, but they're not necessarily like anti representative politics in general, but they will, you know, they'll behave in ways where the average radlib will consider that to be problematic and that you're a fascist. Dark woke, on the other hand, is like still very libbed up. Like dark woke is very libbed up. I would probably be in the dirtbag left category to a certain degree. Dark woke, on the other hand, is like super duper libbed up and most likely will punch left if push comes to shove. They haven't recently because they're too busy attacking the Republican administration. You're just making up titles for things now? No. First of all, I do that, but right now I'm not doing that. Dirtbag left, where does Chapo fall into? Chapo is the reason why they invented the term dirtbag left. I'm in the wiki. Ain't no way. The dirtbag left is a style of left-wing politics that eschews civility to convey a left-wing populist and anti-capitalist message using vulgarity. It's most closely associated with American left-wing online media that emerged in the mid-2010s, such as the podcast Chapo Trap House. The term was coined by Amber A. Lee Frost, associated with her essay, The Necessity of Political Vulgarity, published in the Current Affairs in 2016. While the essay does not directly use the term dirtbag left, it mounts a defense of politics that uses vulgarity as a tool for fighting the powerful, citing libels, I don't know, used to slander Marie Antoinette, Cone v. California, NWA's protest song to police, among others. Frost writes that vulgarity in itself is not inherently subversive, but argues that the left must reclaim it from the Trumps of the world, lest it be handicapped by its own civility. Dirtbag left is most closely associated with the American politics podcast Chapo Trap House. Chapo emerged in 2016. It combines political analysis, punditry from a socialist perspective with elements of comedy and irony in the style of a shock jock. Beyond Chapo, media outlets that have been linked to, described as, or identified with the dirtbag left include podcasts, Street Fight Radio, TrueAnon, Red Scare, failed verification, Stavi's World, and Cumtown. The publication is The Baffler and Current Affairs at internet streamers Hasan, Piker, and Vosh. Oh, no! Oh, my God! No! No! Up until this moment, I'm like, oh, these are all my friends, except for Red Scare. I don't know how they get there. Oh! No! No! It's over. Oh, Tacoma wept, dude. Tacoma wept on this day, let me tell you. It wept, dude. I'm weeping. West Hollywood is weeping. Tacoma is weeping. Oh, no. The people want dark woke? What? I mean, that's crazy. Oh, God. Now that I briefly clicked on this meme, there's going to be 11 hours of commentary from crying right-wingers who are going to cut away from their normal broadcast of constantly talking about how women ain't shit and how rape is actually fake. to talk about how unimaginable of a slight that I engaged in by clicking on this meme. Oh, brother.
James Comey, our former FBI director, posted on Instagram something that many are interpreting as a call for violence on the president. Look at this. The caption reads, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk."
8647, 1738. Dude, this is awesome. James Comey is a Republican. He has always been a Republican. He just doesn't like Donald Trump. He's a never Trump Republican. Okay. What is this? The two types of leftists, Vosh versus Matt Christman.
Donald Trump and other prominent members of his administration are announcing to us that they intend to commit a coup in the United States.
So I wanted to talk about something today. I wanted to talk about what I heard from a friend.
This isn't a fancy, frivolous use of language. This is a capital C coup d'etat, a traditional seizure of government power by one group against the democratic wishes of the majority.
I heard from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. Trump is stealing the election. Down, down, down.
They have been broadcasting their intentions now for quite some time, and it is clear to me now that they are committed to the following plan.
And I can't believe it, and I can't conceive it, because we're under the gun and Trump's stealing the election.
That is what is going to happen in 5 weeks. Things may actually end up being worse than I imagine them to be.
So it seems like people are kind of erotically enthralled with the idea of Trump having a coup in November. Am I wrong about this? Do they not speak with a virtual ball gag in their mouths and perhaps a butt plug betwixt their cheeks?
I'm going to explain this to you, and I am going to be right.
Just like the libs who are getting off on the prospect of Trump doing a coup because he predictably is not accepting that he lost, which everyone knew he would.
And this hits with the Chapo boys too, those smug doomer dipshits who have completely resigned any possibility of engaging in good political action.
This is another case of people jazzing themselves up on a fight that they want to keep having because they didn't get the orgasm they thought they were going to get out of Biden winning. They just got this kind of sad, seeping...
The main issue for me is that there aren't really any, good pockets of the left, I feel, outside of, my community. It feels like every other big community of leftists has some, huge...
And, I start throwing a few pitches, and it's... Here. And
This is why liberals get so mad at me whenever I say January 6th was objectively funny. Because, January 6th has to be a pivotal moment. And in some ways, yeah, if you care about those sorts of things as adult Americans were supposed to, and then you still vote in Donald Trump into office, it's still pretty funny, but it's also kind of damaging. But again, it was funny, objectively funny. You will never, and as I've defended over and over again, you will never have me tell a lie that diabetic, heart diseased, HVAC business owners climbing up the walls of the Capitol Rotunda, okay, live on camera for no real reason, with no genuine objective beyond stopping a process that is purely symbolic, terrifying the shit out of every American congressperson, and then just smearing their shit all over the walls once they actually breached the halls of Congress. And then every politician saying this is a million 9/11s that took place in eternity, just constantly repeating this over and over again in perpetuity. Amazing. It was hilarious. Only followed up by the Brazilian January 6th, which was also hilarious. But I feel like the American version was still funnier because it's closer to home for me.
the crowd's going crazy. And then, I thought that would be cool.
No, sorry, Matt Chrisman and Trey Anon talk shit about you. No, I didn't. What, on Twitter or over their podcast or something like that?
Yeah, no, that Vouch guy, people want me to debate him, and I've looked. What's the debate? What would I? You want me to jangle keys in front of his face? He seems like the dumbest people I've ever encountered.
Anyway, that's I don't know where I would put Vosh in categorically, because he has like a lot of liberal tendencies. He's also a big time NATO boy. He hammered me quite a bit on the Hasan loves Russia stuff. He really farmed that shit into oblivion. But he's always been pro-Palestine, and I gave him credit for that forever. He's definitely not dirtbag left enough. Yeah, but in some respects, he used to do shit that like Choppa Boys would never do, like fucking say the N-word. The tactical deployment of an N-word to show that the word does not scare him. The word has no power over him. A white man when talking to other racists. So I don't know if I can call him a dirtbag leftist, because then that means like everyone on the dirtbag left is doing tactical deployments of the N-word, even though he did get banned off Twitch for saying not so nice things. Ironically enough, Vosh, despite being a hardline NATO liberal, okay, said something that I would never say. Said something on Twitch that I literally use as an example of what not to say about Tel Aviv. I'd go so far as to say what he said about Tel Aviv and what to do to Tel Aviv, even fucking Bad Empanada does not say. For the record. He says some stuff. Is Bad Empanada's Twitter handle? No, he went beyond. I think Bad Empanada was saying Dresden, Tel Aviv, whereas Vosh said something beyond that. He said Hiroshima, Tel Aviv. Pretty sure Bad Empanada only says Dresden, Tel Aviv, whereas Vosh said, the N-word, but this time not the N-word that you've heard from him in the past, tactically deployed. This is the other tactical N-word, nuclear. Him accusing that lady of being racist who was just trying to explain decolonialization to him was seriously fucked up. Yeah, there was a whole period of him and Sex Pestany constantly fucking duking it out with like people that were just simply trying to explain to them that like not all nationalism is the same, that like emancipatory nationalism is different than, you know, Nazi nationalism. That's always funny. Whenever like a black or brown person is trying to engage in the emotional labor of describing to a white NatSec liberal that, you know, there are differences between emancipatory nationalist movements. Now, ironically enough, for a guy that said tactical N-word Tel Aviv, does he think Hamas is? I mean, that's also a emancipatory national movement. You know, that's what that is. Actually, I don't even know what his fucking takes on Hamas are. I think he was like shitting on me for defending the Houthis blockade on the Red Sea. I remember that, which I also find really strange. Again, an untenable, unsustainable position. Israel's doing a genocide, and he literally got banned for saying, once again, I will not say this, you know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki Tel Aviv, but also simultaneously, he's like, you know what's a bridge too far? Implementing an economic blockade on the country that you said to nuke the capital of. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like where is the consistency is just gone. It's just so illogical. Yeah, he was acting like the Houthis were just targeting random ships. Yeah, they're just like barbaric. They're just what do you call it? Barbaric rapist monsters who just want to rape the ships. That's what the Houthis are doing. They want to do ISIS style beheadings of the ships. They want to cut the heads off the ship.